I have goals for my parenthood.
Okay.
And one of my goals as a parent was to try homeschooling at least for a year.
Okay.
To give ourselves a chance to see if it works for our household.
All right.
For myself, that was just a goal that I wanted to be able to say, we did it, we tried it, it worked, or it didn't work.
Welcome back. We're on the homeschooling legacy. Yes, we're talking about home education. Here with me today, I have Dr. Shameka as my guest. So, welcome, Dr. Shameka. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So first of all, tell me, why homeschooling
Yeah.
and home education?
Yes. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to our lovely host for this topic and for space to talk about these topics.
Yes.
And then I just really want to thank God for just this moment and my ancestors as well to set the tone.
Yes.
But I would like to think of homeschooling as a journey.
Right.
Just like a wellness journey, homeschooling journey. So we're all learning and unlearning things as parents as we learn our children, and kind of figuring out what's best for our households. So for me, again, I don't give advice. I just say what has worked for me, and I would like to think that I'm still learning.
Yes,
still learning what works for us. So my daughter is 12.
Okay.
She's going to be 13 in the new year coming up. She's in grade 7, so she's a bit older, and she's learning how to become more of an independent learner. Teaching her to be a critical thinker, how to express herself as a young girl, and then also how to be organized of her subjects and her subject content. So as her homeschool success coach, I would like to think of myself as her success coach or excellence coach. I'm trained to be her learning coach from the curriculum that we use.
And what curriculum is that?
It's more of an international based, virtual platform.
Okay.
So they give you the courses and the content, and then I supplement it with small parts of my own curriculum as well.
And what's the name? What's the name for it?
Yeah, so it's an international academy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Great. All right. Awesome. But then, what was the reason that you chose homeschooling? Was it something you thought about before you were pregnant?
I have goals for every part of my life. So I have goals for my finances, goals for my wellness. I have goals for my parenthood.
Okay.
And one of my goals as a parent was to try homeschooling at least for a year.
Okay.
To give ourselves a chance to see if it works for our household.
All right.
For myself, that was just a goal that I wanted to be able to say, we did it, we tried it, it worked, or it didn't work.
So for how long now have you been homeschooling?
Yeah, so Zaya, my daughter's name is Zaya. Initially, we started off with homeschooling and then Montessori.
Okay.
Which is like a more of a free-spirited environment.
That's right.
So she grew up in a Montessori-based method when we lived in the States. And then we did public school for a while, and then we did a Center for Art and Languages, which is more of a heavy, intensive academic environment. And then when we moved to Ghana, we did the international school here in Ghana. Now we're in an international virtual platform that is strictly home learning supplement.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me some of the benefits that you're finding. As you know, you've been schooled in a school, right?
Yes.
Compared to your, obviously your upbringing in a school environment, some of the benefits of homeschooling that you found so far.
Well, so far, one is knowing my child. She's very social. She's also an only child, and she also is more social than I would say I was as a child.
Okay,
she's a social butterfly. So I've noticed and observed her when she's around the regular school. She's, always in something, always around kids, always, and so sometimes I have to redirect her because she gets distracted very easily. Right. In the homeschool method, there's less distractions. Right. So my very first thing is reducing distractions so that she can focus on the content and the curriculum. That was the main thing. And then the second the second one for me was flexibility.
Right.
It
Okay.
allowed me a lot of room to have travel in our
Yes.
schedule because we move around, we travel for work, and she gets to be exposed to other cultures from our travel experiences.
Right.
She also gets to spend time with my mom or her, extended relatives and log into her classes.
Right.
So having that needed break for flexibility was really good for our home. And then mainly it allows me to control her learning. I want to be a part of her curriculum. I want to know what's going on, what is she reading, what is she being exposed to. And so it allowed me to partner with her curriculum and take the lead on some of the things that she's learning. So having that control of her content allows me to actually see that she can learn faster and learn more than what the school systems were exposing her to.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Okay, so then tell us some of the challenges and something that, if you had a challenge, how did you overcome that particular challenge?
Yes.
Home ed.
So one of the challenges I would say with homeschooling is that we have to be very aware of how much social emotional support she's getting from peers, her peer group. So she's getting social support from me and her family from the adults.
Right.
But I think it's also very critical to have her around her age group.
Right. Okay.
Because there are certain learning exposures that she needs from her peers.
Yeah.
So I try my best to put her in other activities. So she's been on the chess team.
Okay.
She's also does ballet and dance. And she really loves to just do gaming as well. So she's a part of like the gaming culture, and she gets to game with other kids from other countries. So, those have been some like supplemental activities to kind of increase her support.
Right.
So
Yes.
making sure you establish boundaries at home.
Yeah.
So I have moments where when we're done with our day for homeschool, I, say, okay, this is mommy time,
Right.
and she has her time and I have my time, and we learn to take turns sharing time. And so there are quiet times in the house, or there are times I just play soft music or just have, we both, try to do things together to help each other kind of relax so that we're not stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So some of the things that you can help people along who are on this journey for home education. Any advice that you give to parents?
Yeah.
That you'd like to share with us? And yes.
I think the best advice I would say is to give it a try. At least for a year to see if it works for you and your child. So initially, before I tried the homeschooling, my daughter was very hesitant. She's like, "Mommy, I love being in school with my friends." And then now that she's home, she's like, "I prefer this." Me to bond with my child.
Yeah.
On a deeper level, allows me to learn her learning style.
Yeah.
So I learned that, and I observed that she's more of an audio visual learner. So she likes to take notes or watch things as you explain it to her. And so it allows me to see that there are similarities I have with my child, but there are differences, that my child is different than me. And so I have to learn her.
Right.
I have to study how she studies so that we can provide support for what she needs. And then also, I consider myself a minimalist. I'm a wellness lifestyle person. So the homeschooling model allows me to incorporate wellness into our our lifestyle. So there are moments where, she's after class, she can have a cup of tea, or she just sits and plays, to herself. She has a minute to breathe. She gets to take breaks. So it really allows you to have a household that really focuses on wellness. So I think those have been some benefits for me. And a really, really good benefit is it reduces me from drop off and pick up. The traffic is wahala. I'm just, but no.
What is the advice that you give to parents?
That
based
drop
on
off.
homeschooling is, basically you're cutting off all of those stress.
Extra.
Being in a school environment is glamorized. you know.
Mhm.
You send the children to school, and that's it. You don't even have to think about them for the day because you're at work and you've got your time to work and that kind of thing. But there's that stress that you don't take into account of drop off, pick up,
Pick up
time to pick
meetings,
up. Yes,
teachers.
yes, the requirements, the constant requirements of the school
Yeah.
that ask you. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
And the
there's,
teachers are stressed in mostly
yeah,
regular schools because they're interacting with so many children.
right,
So I
right.
find in the
That's
homeschooling
true.
model that even when we have teachers come and like or just log in with her, they're
Right.
not as stressed because
Okay.
they're just working with her either one on one or in
Right.
like a small group setting.
Okay. So you
So
have tutoring.
yes, tutoring, the
Okay.
child gets more attention.
Hmm.
And then they're able to keep up and organize their studies. So I just feel
Yeah.
it's just really good to try for a year or two, or
Yeah.
just if it works for you for the rest of K through 12.
Right. Right. Yes, that's awesome. I think and most people I've spoken to, they say they're just taking one day at a time, and then one day at a time is leading to a month, a term, a year. But for every homeschooler I've talked to, they still are taking one day at a time
Yes.
because it's a whole new experience that you're building
Yeah,
with your family.
exactly.
Yes, it's not common and it's not easy.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not for the
not.
weak or faint-hearted,
Right.
but it's definitely,
It's worth
I
it.
feel, the most rewarding thing that can happen, the bond between you and your child. So I would say, definitely give it a go.
Yes.
And if there's any questions or, any thing that you need help with, there's always a place to go to,
Resources.
yeah, to also get help in, support in homeschooling. I would recommend, a community, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure, or a way to share that responsibility because often in homeschooling you've got the burden of doing it all
Oh yeah.
on your own as a parent. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Right.
In what ways have you been able to kind of, share your teaching role amongst as a community or family?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm a part of groups like the Afro Parenting Village.
Right.
I'm a part of other mommy and me groups as well. Play dates, scheduling play dates with
Yeah.
children and their moms. There are times where I take the kids and we go do something fun,
Mhm.
and there are times I allow my daughter to go with their family for the day.
Okay.
So we take turns
Right.
throughout the week, and really building a bond with another family. It takes time,
Yes.
to build trust. But I think as you become friends of the family, you learn to like give each other like some leg
Yeah.
room and some space to develop friendships.
Right. Good. Yeah.
So it's really good, and then the kids get to kind of grow up together. And now more than ever, we live in a global society. We are travelers. We lived in different countries. So it's really good for my child to just be exposed to, yes, the global society, but also keeping in touch with her friends from different countries. And
Right.
she's able to do that online as
Yes.
well. They have these little online groups.
Yes.
They game online. They play Roblox. They play chess online. So it's been really nice to see her interact with her friends from China and her friends from India, and she has friends in Ghana, in the States, in the UK, and they're all on these little online chat groups. And then I'm able to meet the moms too overseas. So in that way, she's exposed to different cultures, but she's also learning to be a global citizen of the world, be a woman growing into being a young lady who knows how to be adaptable, who knows how to be a leader, who also knows how to be aware of culture and the world around her. I think that's more than I could ever have had as a child.
Yes, very well rounded. Yes. Dr. Poetry Speaks Health. She's here on YouTube. Check her out. And don't forget to subscribe right here at Zela Africa for more news on the homeschooling legacy. We'll see you next time.